Happy St. Patrick's Day. I thought we'd start this episode with a little bit of travel trivia on St. Patrick. So here we go. First question. Why do people wear green on St. Patrick's Day? Well, it didn't start out as green. It was blue originally. But somewhere along the way in the late 1700s, a group called the United Irishmen was a national group adopted green as their symbol to signify a rebellion against the English rule and making the color Irish pride and independence. Green also symbolized the shamrock, which is a three-leaf clover that St. Patrick used to represent the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Next question. Why is St. Patrick's Day celebrated on March 17? Is it A, to celebrate the day of his birth, or B, to celebrate the day of his death? The answer is B, to celebrate the day he died in March 17, 461 AD. Next question. True or false? St. Patrick was born in Ireland. The answer would be false. He was born in Roman Britain, which today would either be Scotland or Wales. Last question. According to Irish folklore, what will you find at the end of the rainbow? The answer is a pot of gold. So today, we're going to give you a pot of gold on a virtual tour of Ireland. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Travel Tuesday with Teresa, the ultimate source of wanderlust inspiration. Join the journey led by your host, Teresa Belcher.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us today. And I brought my good luck charm from Tourism Ireland, Megan Bernoulli. Welcome to the show, Megan.
Thanks so much for having me, Teresa. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you. In fact, Ireland has been my most requested destination to present on these podcasts for the last 3 years since I started the podcast. So this has been a long time coming, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. So before you came on, I did travel trivia, and I'm going to ask one more trivia question. Can you guess where the very first St. Patrick's Day parade was? It's either A, Philadelphia, B, New York City, C, St. Augustine, Florida, D, Boston, E, Chicago. Would you happen to know the answer to that?
Well, I live in Philadelphia, so I'm hoping it's Philadelphia, but I think St. Augustine, Florida is such a wild card answer that I'm going to go with St. Augustine, Florida.
You are correct. St. Augustine, Florida. You are correct.
It's always the one you least suspect.
Exactly. Well, that was a good answer, and you guessed right. So, okay, so I'm sure people are sick of my trivia questions. So we're going to jump right into going to Ireland, and we're going to take a virtual tour to Ireland. So it's over to you.
Perfect. Well, I am so excited to be here talking about the incredible island of Ireland, where luxury comes naturally. And to kick things off, I have one of our beautiful videos highlighting all of the best Ireland has to offer. So now that we saw all of the most incredible views and images that Ireland has, from food to nature to exciting hotel stays, the first question is, how are we getting there? Ireland has a number of flight routes available: Aer Lingus, Delta, United, JetBlue, American Airlines, Air Canada, all service from North America over to Ireland. The capital city and the largest airport in the island is Dublin Airport. But you can also fly back to the United States from Shannon Airport down on the West Coast. So we are really excited for Aer Lingus to have launched two new flight routes from Raleigh, Durham, and Pittsburgh. One of the most exciting things about flying back from Ireland, of course, no one is ready to leave, but when you do leave, departing from Shannon and Dublin, you pre-clear US customs. So it is like landing back in the United States as if you are on a domestic flight. One point that is always nice to note, though, if you have traveling up to the north of Ireland, is that that is a part of the United Kingdom and therefore does require the ETA visa for all travelers to hold. There are five key regions of Ireland that we love to highlight. The first is Dublin, the capital city and the capital county. They say it is surprising by nature. Ireland's ancient east, you can see in the orange up from Monaghan all the way down to the city of Cork, which is the food capital of the island. Ireland's hidden heartlands are highlighted in green. There are some incredible lakes throughout this region, so much to do and see and discover. And then the Wild Atlantic Way is probably the most internationally known part of Ireland so far. There are over 1,600 miles of coastline roads that you're able to drive from all the way from the top of Donegal down to County Kerry in the southwest. Makes for such a beautiful trip. And of course, we cannot forget Northern Ireland, where we embrace a giant spirit. So again, Dublin is the capital city, but also the capital county. So aside from beautiful sites like Trinity College and Temple Bar, it is always nice to get outside of the city to some of the more surprising discoverable areas like the little town of Howth, as well as the Wicklow Mountains. There is just so much to do and see in Dublin. Ireland's ancient east, again, is a rather large area, takes you up from the north of the country all the way down to County Cork. There are some really incredible sites and histories to see within this area. The Rock of Cashel, you can see at the top right of the screen. Cork City is down at the bottom left, and then Glenrange in the bottom center is this really incredible ancient site, very similar to a Stonehenge, if you will. As you can see, there's the sun is about to break over the horizon in that image, but it's one of the hottest tickets in Ireland. The monks and pagans who built this, it's actually a burial site, thousands of years ago, managed to do so in a way that when you stand in the center of it on the winter and summer solstices, the sun comes streaming right through. And it's a limited ticket. So like I said, it's one of the hottest tickets in Ireland, is that it only takes place twice a year. The Hidden Heartlands has so much to see and discover. Sean's Bar is in the little town of Athlone. It is the oldest bar in Ireland. It's a must stop for so many people, just to go in, grab a pint, enjoy, get to know some of the locals. Whiskey drinkers, Tullamore Dew Distillery is at within this region, and so much more to see along the way. Again, the Wild Atlantic Way is known for its absolutely incredible, breathtaking journeys from top to bottom. It encapsulates the Burren, the Cliffs of Moher, the Achill Islands, Skellig Islands, Donegal. It's very untouched here. Ireland is the Emerald Isle, and when you're here, you'll understand why. So many incredible shades of green everywhere you're looking, and that is evergreen. January through December, the green sticks around. And then in the Northern Ireland, there's just as much to do and see outside of Belfast city itself, from nature escapes to the Carrick Bridge, a sheep herding experience with a fourth generation sheep herder, filming sites. Any keen-eyed Game of Thrones fans would notice the dark hedges at the bottom center is what doubled for the King's Road in Game of Thrones. In Ireland, we really love to tell people to take things unrushed. It's our take on slow tourism, really is about encouraging travelers to come to Ireland and care more about the depth of the experience instead of trying to see as much as possible in whatever time you have. Focus on seeing the region that you're staying in at the moment, and instead of doing, you know, 5 destinations in a week, dial that down to 2 or 3 and really become a local in the places that you're staying. It's really about taking things slow and immersive and, you know, responsibly think about how you're experiencing all of these places. Ireland, it's a destination, as I said before, evergreen, not only in color, but in the opportunities that wait for you. It's a place you can continue to travel back to time and time again, and you never run out of things to do. So while you're there, you might as well take the time to, slow down, luxuriate, and really enjoy everything as it comes to you, because that's some of the best ways to just stumble upon and discover something new to see.
Megan, I'm going to interrupt.
Hmm.
Slow travel is a thing. Post-COVID,
Hmm.
it is real.
Yeah.
And before COVID, we used to get it all in. See, do, be, like go, you can rest when you get home.
Yes.
Nowadays, that philosophy is out the door. That's the old way of how we used to travel. Now it's trying to slow down and immerse yourself into the culture and the people. And instead of trying to get it all in, and I always tell my clients, when you try to get it all in, you get nothing in.
Yes.
So pick a place and really immerse yourself. Go to a castle hotel and experience falconry. Go fishing, fly fishing. Instead of getting in a car and spending a day here and a day there and going all over and saying, well, we saw all of Ireland. You actually didn't.
I couldn't agree more, Teresa. And absolutely, like you said, you never want to return from a trip feeling like you didn't get to see anything because you were trying to see everything. It's so much uh, nicer. You return, like you say, you return relaxed after a holiday. Especially in the post-COVID age, you want to feel like you've gone away and have really rejuvenated yourself. And that's what you get in Ireland exactly at these castle stays. You stay in the most incredible places in Ireland. And if you spend all of your time running around, seeing as much as possible, you miss some of the things that are just right around you in your immediate. That's why we encourage the slow tourism, the unrushed approach when traveling throughout Ireland, because you have the opportunity to make these places literally home away from home, and that you're somewhere for 3, 4, even 5 nights in instances. And night one, of course, you feel like you're fresh and new. Night two, you're starting to get the hang of things. And by night three, you know the names of the local staff, the porters, the waiters, you know who's pulling your pint behind the bar. They might even invite you behind the bar to pull that pint because you've gotten to develop not only the knowledge of the area, but you have been able to build relationships with the locals. And that's something that so many of the Irish really do take pride in doing is being that place of hospitality that goes above and beyond. So, like these castles, Drumullen Castle featured here, Adair Manor, so many of these properties really excel at their on-property experiences, from horseback riding to falconry to tea, some incredible spas across the island of Ireland. There is so much to do and see just when you're on property that it is nice to be able to take the time and just take a walk on a beach, take a horseback ride down the sand, something that extends your stay and really roots you and cements you in that place without thinking about what's next, what haven't I seen, and just checking off boxes. So, aside from castle stays, there are so many unique stays around Ireland as well. Manor homes, renting out a lighthouse on the coast, even bubble domes. There is something for everyone and everything in between for you to unwind, relax, get cozy, and stay a while. Some really incredible outdoor escapes for you to explore in between those incredible stays. Fishing opportunities. As an island, we're of course surrounded by water, so so many of our outdoor escapes are water focused, whether you're on a boat or horseback riding along the coast, walking along the beaches. But again, these are the dark hedges up in Northern Ireland. The Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland is one of the most number one destinations for so many people when visiting the island of Ireland. There are some incredible myths and storytellers that focus around the Giant's Causeway and how it's came to be as a natural landscape. It's one of the natural wonders of the world and one of the most Instagrammable places in the world. And when you go, you see why. It's a beautiful coastline exclusively made of these hexagonal rock formations that come out of the sea at all different heights. And it makes for a beautiful hike, but also just for a beautiful day to bring a picnic out or a splash of whiskey, and you can literally have whiskey on the rocks. On the rocks, it makes for some really special memories and photo opportunities. And this is actually one of my personal favorite places to really experience all the shades of green of Ireland. Howth Head off of the north, just it's a little tiny town north of Dublin, about 40-minute train journey outside of Dublin city. And then it's about a 15-minute walk from the town of Howth, a beautiful little seaside village where you can get incredible lobsters. But to walk Howth Head, you see the gentleman here, it makes for an incredible day. If you even only have the time to stay within Dublin City for a few nights, going out to Howth and exploring the little village and doing the walk gets you out into some of that beautiful nature that Ireland has to offer. And doing yoga on a beautiful lakeside pier or an ice bath up on the coastlines while you take in all of the natural surrounding beauties, or a river bath while you luxuriate after a long day of exploring. It's nice to be able to unwind in a beautiful scenic sauna bath. Excuse me. And one of the most incredible things about Ireland that people always come away from that surprises, I think, a lot of people are the food options that we have. Being an island, we are surrounded by water, of course, surrounded by seafood. So some of the freshest oysters, lobsters, mussels, fish that you will get in the entire world is plucked right from the Irish Sea on a daily basis and brought right to your table. Everything from high-end Michelin star dining to really beautiful farm to table movement. Farm to table, dock to dish is sort of what we like to say, because everything really does come in so fresh. You're only dealing with about 125 miles of island from north to south and about 120 east to west. So Nothing's coming from all that far away when you're eating. So you can guarantee that it is some of the freshest food around that is prepared lovingly with purpose every single time by some really incredible chefs. As of 2026, there are 24 Michelin-starred restaurants that are around the island. So many chefs, especially a number of the older chefs, once upon a time in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, were going abroad, getting their mastery in the United States or Italy or France or even Asia, and coming back to Ireland with really incredible skills and are now so proud to show off all of the incredible food that Ireland has to offer. But there are just as many up and coming young chefs who have grown up always in an Ireland where food reigns supreme and are capitalizing on the farm to table movement that started in about the early 2010s. They've always grown up and learned to cook with that, celebrating everything that Irish cuisine has to offer. And along the way, you'll have incredible hospitality, incredible hosts throughout. In addition to working up an appetite while eating, golf is, of course, one of the most incredible pastimes. While we are not the home of golf, we consider it the place where it has really thrived. Over a third of the top links golf courses in the world are in Ireland, as well as some really incredible parkland courses. We have hosted throughout the years various British Opens, Ryder Cups, etc. You can see just some of the few beautiful courses throughout. Ireland really is a place where where golf thrives throughout time. And it's a place where we invite you to celebrate. Weddings make for beautiful backdrops in Ireland. It's a wonderful destination for birthday celebrations, multi-generational reunion trips. There is so much to do and see, whether you're staying in a castle or renting out a manor home. It is a place where memories will continue to be made and created and really just explode off the images that you capture there and stay with you forever and ever. Besides celebrating personal milestones, Ireland is home of so many different festivals. I know, Teresa, you spoke about St. Patrick's Day, which we're getting ready to celebrate. And Ireland is the home of St. Patrick and all things St. Paddy's Day. But we are also, not many know, the home of Halloween, the Puka Festival. Specifically, Ireland's Halloween comes from the ancient festival Samhain, which is a pagan festival that takes place about the end of October to bring in it's basically saying goodbye to summer and everything that is alive and bright, and it welcomes in the winter and night and darkness. And so there are so many different incredible festivities around the island throughout this time of year in October that celebrate that. Fires, hearths, getting people together. Derry is another incredible festival. And then the festive season after Puka, I kind of think there is no greater time in Ireland than Christmas time. There is nothing so cozy as walking around with a cup of mulled wine or hot chocolate, exploring all of the lights and beautiful things that Ireland has up. While we're not at the same level of Christmas markets as some other destinations in Europe, it really does make for such a magical time of year. Imagine getting to walk around a beautiful Irish countryside, be out in the brisk, cold, blustery air, and then coming back to an incredible hotel with a roaring fire, beautiful decorations. And then the best part is that if you're traveling, you don't have to do packing away of all of those holiday festivities. It's there for you to enjoy while you're there, and then you get to bring all of the memories home without any of the cleanup. I think that's one of the most incredible parts of traveling for Christmas time. But Ireland makes for an incredible destination from January 1st to December 31st, and every day in between, there's always something to do and see. So thank you so much. We hope you can come visit us soon. Teresa, thank you so much for having me.
Ah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. That was a great presentation. You did fabulous. So, I do have a question. Okay, so when people want to drive in Ireland, do they drive on the left side or the right side?
Oh, that's a phenomenal question. We do, in fact, drive on the left side of the road, and the cars are actually reversed as well. So, driver's side is going to be on the right side of the car. It really is it's not as difficult as people think it's going to be. All of the rental car offices do a phenomenal job of really letting everyone know. They even put little stickers at the front of the windshield that says "Drive on the left, drive on the left." It's hard to escape, and with a little bit of confidence, I think it is such a great way to see the island and along with that slow tourism, take things at your own pace because to be behind the wheel, you get to stumble upon places that you wouldn't get to see if you were just on a coach or being driven by a local.
And do Americans need an IDP, International Driver's Permit, or will their American license work? Would you happen to know that?
That's a great question. As of 2026, they do not need an IDP. That is always subject to change. So when you're booking any sort of travel, I would always encourage travelers to inquire with their travel agent for those types of things. But at the moment, no IDP, just your regular American driver's license suffices. Oh, something to note about driving. In the Republic of Ireland, they do post the speed limit in kilometers per hour. In Northern Ireland, they are posted at miles per hour.
Oh,
Something
that's good to know.
something I learned myself, not the hard way per se, but when I was driving in Northern Ireland and getting honked at by everyone passing me, I thought I was going the speed limit. Turns out I was driving about half this posted speed limit because I thought it was kilometers per hour.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I
Hmm.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Um, the recommended mode of transportation around Ireland, would you recommend people self-drive or take a guided tour? Um, or would you do like a private driver guide? Or does it matter? It's based on what people want to do in their budgets.
Yeah, it's 100% based on how the individual likes to travel and what that budget allows. I think you get something unique and incredible out of every experience. There are even train journeys you can take around Ireland that make it a little bit more accessible for certain people who don't feel confident for self-driving. As I said before, self-driving, it's a great way for people to stumble upon new places, new activities, take things at your own pace. Um, a private driver, of course, is going to get you from A to B and safely and responsibly. But you did mention driver guide as well, and I think they are of a special distinction because they are in fact guiding you throughout. These are people who take they're locals. They always take such pride in their area, in the country as a whole, and they come to the experience with so many incredible stories. Um, Oftentimes, they'll know the local bartender at the pub just down the way. So they'll say, like, hey, we're going to stop in here. And you get an entirely unique experience, something that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And that's from driver to driver. I know even, my parents and ourselves in years traveling over to Ireland before I even was with the tourism board, my parents are still on Christmas card lists with some of the driver guides we had because through all that time together, you really do create such an incredible bond and you get so much out of that time.
Yeah.
Um,
And many of the
so,
guides
but at
are
the end of the day,
it's it's what they can afford and what they envision on doing. What I
Yeah,
was going to say is many of the guides are very well educated. They have PhDs in the local history and the culture,
absolutely.
and that's why they have the stories. And if somebody were to self-drive and think they could save money,
Hmm.
then you would never get the education and you would not have the knowledge that these guides are giving you. So
Exactly. Ireland, it's such a small country, only about the size of Indiana. And you think, oh, we can just cross the country. It's true. It's only about a 2 hour drive from Dublin to Galway across the island. But within that, it's not hyperbole to say every single mile there is something else to see or do. There is not a rock, a blade of grass that doesn't have a story, some type of history that could be learned because it's a small island with thousands of years of histories and stories and people that deserve to be learned about. So when you have a driver guide who has that incredibly deep bank of memory knowledge and is wanting to share it with such passion and energy, to have a driver guide really does, I think, set the tone of a trip all the more special.
I couldn't agree more. I 100% agree.
Hmm.
So I'm going to end this presentation with one of my last favorite trivia questions.
I'm
And again,
ready.
because today's St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be on St. Patrick. So here we go. You ready?
Yes.
According to the Irish folklore, St. Patrick rid Ireland of this: A, turtles, B, snakes, C, rats, D, alligators.
I know with confidence, St. Patrick drove all of the snakes from Ireland, um, which is great for me. I don't like snakes. I don't like spiders either. And whether it really is St. Patrick or we didn't really talk much about the climate of Ireland, but as it is an island so far in the North Irish Sea, it is a very temperate destination 365 days a year. So in the winter, it's never getting bitterly, bitterly cold. And in the summer, it's not getting super duper hot. So it makes for a great destination all time of year. But because of that, while it's great for us humans, it doesn't really support the likes of snakes, spiders. There aren't even any predators. I think the largest predator in Ireland would be foxes. So there's no wolves, there's no bears, there's no lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, it makes for a great destination for people. If that's what's been stopping you from getting out and hiking and exploring, Ireland is the place for you because you can do so with confidence, knowing the largest thing that you're going to come across is probably someone's Saint Bernard from down the way.
Exactly. Well, you are correct. You gave the correct answer of B, snakes. But anyway, and you are about the seasonality of Ireland. It's never too cold. They don't have the extreme weathers that we do here in
No,
America. It's not as extremely hot in the summer. It does get crowded in the summer because everybody thinks that the summertime is the best to go. I
right.
personally like to go to Ireland at Christmas time. It's such a magical experience at Christmas, and
Absolutely.
and the crowds are not there. And it's colder here in North America
Than it
than
is
it
over
is in
in
Ireland.
Ireland. Every
Yes.
Irish person will tell you there's no such thing as bad weather. There are just bad outfits. And Ireland is a destination for layers, because you'll get to experience so many different types of weather in one day. I like to think of it as Florida rain, if you will. It'll come in, rain for about 25, 30 minutes, and then it'll be beautiful blue skies again.
Yep,
Um,
that is
but
true.
and exactly to your point, summertime, of course, is the most popular travel time. It's when people have off schools. The weather is the warmest and the days are the longest, but it makes for the shoulder seasons to be incredible. From January 1st, everything kicks off this time of year, St. Patrick's Day, pretty much through the festive. We are going to be busy and there's going to be things to do and see. So people are always traveling to Ireland. There's never a bad time to visit the island because you will always get a different experience every time you come.
Yes. So, if anyone is interested in going to Ireland, whether you want to do an independent trip and create your own itinerary, or
Mhm.
you want to join a small group, reach out to me because I'm happy to assist. My name is Teresa from Honeymoon Islands, and I will leave my contact below this information. So, if you can dream it, we will create it. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Everyone, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Bye.